Hello, my beautiful midlife queens. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Queen podcast. This is Midlife Unfiltered, Unhinged, and Unapologetic. I'm your host, Lorena Vasolo, the Midlife Reinvention Queen. I'm so happy you're here. Here we ditch the outdated BS beliefs about women in midlife, about aging, about perimenopause, about menopause, and how it's all a decline, how we're past our prime, we're invisible, we're irrelevant. Here we crown ourselves. Here we prioritize our joy, our pleasure, our dreams, our passions, our desires. And here we live our best midlives yet. This is your midlife queen era. Crown on. Let's go, queen. So in today's episode, we are diving into a powerful topic, the magic and power of firsts in midlife. Now, what do I mean by firsts? Let's start there. So firsts is something that I teach a lot of the women in my world, and it's about doing things for the first time in midlife, doing things that you've always wanted to do, doing things that interest you. And it can also be doing things that maybe you once loved to do and you stopped doing, and now you're kind of feeling like you want to do them again. So why are firsts so important, and why are they so powerful in our midlife? And I'll start by saying that we tend to think that firsts are reserved for our 20s, right? Or when we're young and, starting out, our first job, our first apartment, our first love. But here's the truth. Midlife is the perfect time for firsts, for what I call soul upgrades, identity upgrades. Because, when a woman reaches midlife, you have accumulated decades of life, decades of experiences, decades of wisdom. And you've also accumulated decades of neglecting yourself, of prioritizing others' needs, prioritizing the job, the kids, the husband, the family, etc. And you've accumulated decades of being disconnected to yourself and not prioritizing yourself, and being disconnected to your own intuition, your own dreams, your own joy, your own passions, your own interests, your own desires. And so midlife is the perfect opportunity, and it's calling for you because you're in this transition, right? Your old life no longer fits, and you're asking yourself, is this all there is? Is there more? Yes, the answer is yes, my queen, there is more, but you have to want it and claim it, step into it, lean into it, and give yourself permission to play, to explore, to experience more. And this is where the power of firsts come in. So when you are in midlife, think of yourself as updating not just your biology through perimenopause and menopause. We go through all these changes in our biology, in our body, and our hormones. We're also upgrading our identity, who we are. So you're upgrading yourself. It's the perfect opportunity to reimagine and expand how you see yourself and try new things, do new things for the first time, or do things that you used to do that you love. Maybe you take your first solo trip, or your first painting class, or your first time taking a dancing class, or your first bold haircut, or your first yes to something purely because you want to, right? That's the power of yes. Start to allow yourself to explore just for fun. What are some things that you've always wanted to do and you haven't because you keep putting it off? You keep saying, no, I'm not ready, or I don't have time, or later, or someday. Classic. Someday is really code for never. It never happens. You never get to it. And it's a way of procrastinating, putting off, because maybe it's scary to do something new for the first time. It's scary. Maybe it's something that stretches you. But that's the power of firsts, of saying yes to firsts in midlife. When you say yes to something new, you are saying yes to getting out of your comfort zone. You are saying yes to embracing change, to embracing play, to embracing possibility. You are saying yes to doing something without the pressure of having to be perfect at it, having to be a pro at it, having to be a professional, or having the expectation of a result. You're just doing it because you want to do it. You want to try it because it's something you've always wanted to do. And so that's another fun aspect. It connects you to that childlike, right, wonder and curiosity, and gives yourself permission to just play and do something for fun. Doesn't matter if you're good at it. Doesn't matter if you achieve something productive, right? There's no expectation, no pressure. You're just doing it for fun, for your own joy, for your own fulfillment, to discover more about yourself. And so there's so many positive aspects to doing firsts, right? Because when you start saying yes to more firsts experiences in your life, these soul upgrades, because every time you do something for the first time, you stretch yourself a little bit and you upgrade yourself a little bit more, and you know yourself, you know if you actually like doing that and you want to do more of it. And you also find out if maybe no, it's not what you thought, not interested, so you don't do it again. So it gives you a lot of information about yourself. You get to discover yourself all over again, and it's very exciting. So I want you to see how you feel right now, just thinking of this possibility, right? When you reframe your midlife as a field of possibilities, instead of decline, instead of loss, failure, breakdown, when you start to open yourself up and to actually look at your midlife as an invitation to reimagine, reinvent, to get playful again, to have more freedom to explore, and to just get in touch with your dreams, your passions, your desires, and actually finally allow yourself to explore them, to prioritize them, to embody them, to do them, to live them. Doesn't that just completely change the way you see your midlife? Midlife becomes your playground, right? And it's exciting, it's fun, and it's beautiful and expansive. There's nothing irrelevant or invisible about that experience. On the contrary, right? I truly believe that midlife can be your best chapter yet, and the best is yet to come. That is my mantra, my philosophy for life. The best is yet to come. And whatever stage of your life you're in, if you embrace it with an open heart, an open mind, and courage to allow yourself to step boldly and lean into the change, lean into the breakthrough, lean into the transformation, beautiful things are waiting on the other side. Is it going to be easy always? No. Are there going to be challenges? Are there going to be scary moments? Yes, but that's life. And it's all only going to make you grow more and get more aligned with yourself and create an even more beautiful midlife and beyond. And like I always say, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. So if you want different, you've got to be different. You've got to become different. You've got to act differently, think differently, choose differently, embody differently, right? You've got to change your identity. Like a mentor of mine says, if you want to change your personal reality, you have got to change your reality. And when you start giving yourself permission to explore and do more firsts in your midlife, it's a perfect way to start expanding your identity and upgrading who you are. And it's a perfect way, like I said before, to stretch your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone. You know, you're in this comfort zone, this personality, this way of living, this way of being that feels safe because it's familiar. But if you want different, you've got to crack yourself out of that little shell, stretch yourself out, and start taking chances, start trying new things, start doing things differently. And so by embracing this idea of doing more and more firsts, filling your midlife with more firsts, it's a beautiful, fun way to expand, to get out of your comfort zone, and to upgrade who you are in midlife and beyond. And to start designing a life that is truly aligned with your dreams, your passions, your desires, the things that bring you joy, the things that make you come alive, that make you feel that spark inside, that fire, that make you excited, inspired, because that's what life is about. Experiencing more of that, what makes your soul come alive, right? Because otherwise, what the hell is the point of focusing on our hormones and our muscles and our protein intake and being all perfectly balanced hormones if we're waking up miserable, not feeling alive, not feeling excited, not feeling in alignment with our dreams and our desires and our passions in midlife and beyond. So the whole point is to live a life that you wake up and you're like, yes, I'm so in love with myself and my life. I'm so happy to be alive, and I'm so excited about this day that I get to live because I love my life. That's how I want you to feel every morning. And I know that you can, and I know that you want that too. And so one of the ways to do that, one really fun and powerful way, and I teach this to all the women I work with, is to try to start incorporating more firsts, doing things that you love, that you're into, that you're interested in, that you're feeling the pull, that you're feeling the desire, the curiosity, and you want to do just for fun, just because they feel like they're going to fill you up with joy, with energy, right? That they're going to be exciting. They're going to make you feel alive, things that are aligned with you, with your soul. And I want to share with you a little bit of the things that I've done for first time in my midlife, because they don't have to be epic bucket list, bold things, right? They can be very simple things, but they need to be yours. The important piece of this is that they are yours, that they are aligned with you. And for example, some of the things that I've done for the first time in my midlife is, for example, I've created this podcast at the age of 52. Never in my life did I imagine that I would be doing a podcast. I mean, I didn't even know what the hell a podcast was before, because when I was born in 1973, this didn't exist, obviously, not even cell phones. Now, when I tell this to my daughter, she's like, what? What did you have instead of cell phones? I said, no, we didn't have anything. We just had rotary phones. Anyway, so starting this podcast is a brand new thing for me. This is a first, and it's very exciting. And I'm doing it because I've always wanted to share this with other women, and it just amplifies, my soul's mission to serve, to help, to communicate, to teach, and to guide other women, and to create this community of midlife queens where we get to support each other and have each other's back. And, that's what it's about. Creating a community of midlife queens where we go through the portals of our journey of womanhood together, and we help each other rise and walk through together. So this is the first for me. I started belly dancing lessons. I've always wanted to try it, and I'd always been saying, oh, one day I'll do it. One day I'll do it. I said, I'm finally going to do it. And now I'm 5 belly dancing lessons in, and I'm obsessed. I love it. My body loves it. When I come out, I feel energized. And so that's a clue for me. I always listen to my body. I've learned to listen to my body. And when my body feels energized and gives me a full body yes, and I know how that feels like in my body, that's something that's in alignment with me. So I'm doing that. That's another first. And then I started writing my first book. I've always wanted to write. I've always written stories since I'm a little girl, and finally now I'm writing my first novel. I have no idea how that's going to go. I'm not doing it to become a professional New York Times bestseller, and I don't care. I'm writing it because I want to write it. I want to express myself in that way, and we'll see where it goes, right? And so those are just some examples. But the important thing is that you find your firsts, those things that you have an inclination, that you feel the pull, right? That you feel the nudge, and that you explore that, because those are a compass. They're clues, and they guide you in the direction of the things that are meant for you, the things that are meant to bring you joy, you meaning, you pleasure, you passion. And so I want to really encourage you to really incorporate more firsts into your life, my beautiful midlife queen. Shake off that autopilot, because anytime you say yes to doing something for the first time, or saying yes to doing something you've always wanted to do, they remind you that life is still expanding, and that you are still becoming, that you are not stuck, that you are not meant to settle, and that curiosity and desire and passion and play are still fully alive in you, and that you are always becoming. And when you say yes to yourself, this gives you the courage to explore more, to be fully you, to feel fully, and to live fully, and to say yes to living a life that is authentic to you. That is the power and the magic of firsts in midlife. And so I want to really encourage you to invite more firsts into your life. I want you to take a moment right now and close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and really allow yourself to land into your body, into your chest. Expand as you breathe in, and exhale. Let it all out. And think about what excites you. Think about what scares you a little, and what would make your heart beat a little faster. think about what is something that you've always wanted to do? What is something that you desire? What is something you want to try? Maybe it's a place you want to visit. Maybe it's a class you want to take. Whatever that is, think about it and allow yourself to connect to it and know that it is waiting for you, that your firsts are waiting for you to experience them, waiting for you to explore them, to have fun with them, to give yourself permission to fully and freely explore and expand yourself. And I want you to declare right now with me, I am choosing me. I am choosing my joy. I am choosing my expansion. I give myself permission to explore, to play, to expand. Take a breath in and breathe that in. Breathe that in, my beautiful queen. Just let that sit with you and see what comes up. And when you're done, you can take out your journal later and write down what are some of the firsts that came up for you. What are some of the firsts that you are going to gift yourself this week, this month, this year, whether they're big or small, whether it's a workshop, a hike, a trip, a dance class, or whatever it is, whatever lights you up, whatever excites you, whatever first came up, whatever desire came up, write it down and plan when you're going to do it. And I want to leave you with this, my beautiful queen. Remember that firsts are essential because they remind you that you're alive. They spark your creativity, your desire, your possibility. Midlife is not about repeating the past. Midlife is about creating a new, vibrant you. And it's about giving yourself permission to have new experiences that light you up. And think about this. When you allow yourself a first, you are telling yourself and the world, I'm not done yet. I'm still becoming. You are telling yourself that your curiosity, your dreams, your joy, your playfulness, your passions, your desires are still here and they matter and you honor them. And you're telling yourself that you are worth it. So schedule a first for you this week, this month, this year. Put in your calendar. Treat it like a sacred date with your soul. Treat it like a sacred date, my beautiful queen. Honor yourself. Remember, queens, midlife is the perfect time to explore, expand, play. Every first you experience is another jewel on your crown, my beautiful midlife queen, that you place upon yourself because you are so worth it. All right, my beautiful queens, I want to leave you with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share this episode with another beautiful midlife queen. I'm so grateful you're here. And get ready for next week. We're going to dive deep into midlife by default versus midlife by design. What does that even mean? And how can you do it in your life? All right, my beautiful queens, remember, this is your time to expand yourself and fully step into your upgraded midlife queen era. Remember, your throne is waiting. So as I always say, crown on and rock on, my beautiful queens, and never settle for anything less than you deserve. Never settle for a midlife on autopilot because your midlife by design is waiting for you. Never settle for anything less than your power, your joy, your dreams, your passions, your pleasure, your desires. As always, sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next time.